We use the Rust-Oleum epoxy floor kit, and this is our garage before. This is what we were dealing with. So we started by washing the entire floor and etching it. So we moved everything over to one side and etched it. You pour the etcher down and you really try to scrub it in so that it lifts all of the grease stains and all of the oil and as much debris as you possibly can, and you hose it down. Then we put down a primer. The primer was not part of the kit, so we wanted to make sure to really give it a good base for the epoxy to stick to. So we purchased a separate primer also from Rust-Oleum. You put the primer down and you let it dry. This is the primer that we used. It does not require any sanding or grinding, and we just went with a gray because that's the color that our floor is going to end up with. So now the floor is freshly primed. We let it dry for 24 hours before we moved on to the next step. The next thing you need is these spiked shoes. You can put them on with just socks, or you can put them on over your regular shoes. This will allow you to walk over the epoxy floor as you're laying it down. We also bought extra bags of flakes. We did not feel like there was enough flakes that came in the kit. So in the kit, you get this bag, and the bag is divided into two parts so that the two items don't mix. The top one is labeled A, the bottom one is labeled B. And once you mix these guys, you have 30 minutes from start to finish before it cures. So you press down like that and it breaks the seal, and you have to mix it, mix it, mix it. But once you start, you have to finish it. There's no waiting for anything else. Everything's contained in the bag. You don't need a pan, like a paint pan or anything, and you just kind of drip it around in small contained areas so that you can brush it and roll it just in that small area. You don't want to overextend yourself. Here, we're just kind of getting into all of the corners and using a brush to get an even application all throughout. You do want to get into the corners so that it looks even and it's nice and shiny all throughout. You want to spread this pretty thin because we use the kit for the 2.5 car garage, and we have this 2-car garage, and it was like exactly right. If you put it on too thick, you would run out in the garage. So we did the whole floor. And now that that first half is covered, it's time to put on those spike shoes and sprinkle on the flakes. So the floor is like tacky, but not wet. And the flakes are a personal preference. Like I mentioned, we purchased 2 extra bags of flakes in order to do our 2-car garage because we like the looks of the flakes and we wanted to be able to do it. You want to have the extra flakes on hand because, like I said, this stuff is only wet for 30 minutes. So if you go too heavy at first and then you run out of flake at the end, and you don't have any more, you are going to be absolutely out of luck. There is nothing you can do. And here we have the finished product. It is shiny, it is new, it is beautiful. The flakes hide any imperfections. There's no more staining. We did have some cracking in the concrete, and so this did kind of cover it up and seal it up for us. You can barely even notice it anymore, whereas before it was an eyesore. Overall for us, this was a 3-day project, but definitely DIY friendly, and I would recommend it.